蓝中我们唱喂喂哦喂喂哦，海风中我们唱喂喂哦喂喂哦，一起守护地球，一起面对，你和我，你就都一起面对，每一位都无可取代的You are the one。记得那夜，萤火虫在纷飞，若隐若现，胜过所有完美沉醉，挂着银河的夜 ，Hold my dream， 我的朋友们在身边。可是看过山雾的缤纷与摆动，黑的披露了不一样的甩头 ，We protect， 拼命守护着画面，采取行动，也没有人失去机会。我们一起为地球发声，让更美的风景成为可能。大海也来自水滴，有我有你 ，You are the one。蓝蓝中我们唱喂喂哦喂喂哦，海风中我们唱喂喂哦喂喂哦，一起守护地球，一起面对，你和我，你就都一起面对，每一位都无可取代的 You are the one。
天后都一对，一我比对对，一样的树叫我会，主我靠跑对。
因为冷气来自冷气机，而外卖来自餐厅。若那个自然阶段，气候在变动，浑浊的天空，有家园被淹没，而我们是否无动于衷？繁华的虚空，一如简单却富有 flow， 但to be grateful， 改变习惯，一个人是水滴，一群人，我们就是海洋。嘿，我们一起为地球发声，让更美的风景成为可能。大海也来自水滴，有我有你 ，You are the one。Hey yo, let's rock. Let's speak for the earth. We are the voice for the earth. Yeah. 一起守护地球，一起面对，你和我，你就都一起面对，每一位都无可取代的 You are the one. And you know what it is. Hey, hey, now we protect.蓝头的 You are the one。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Society of Wilderness 2021 Environmental Action Forum, Final Online Contest. I'm today's host. My name is Yunqi Chen. In order to cultivate independent thinking, discover problems, find solutions, show actions, solve problems, optimize the environment, be able to take the initiative to care for society and the environment, and fulfill the responsibilities of the global villagers. This Environmental Action Forum is specially organized to construct an inter-organizational, cross-border environmental protection action. Experience exchange platform to exchange different creative ideas, implementation methods, processes, and results. Gradually expand horizon and interact with domestic and international related groups to show global views, local action, vision, and motivation. Due to the COVID-19, this time we are doing it differently. Although it is being held online, it doesn't decrease everyone's devotion to the environment and the enthusiasm of the contestant. And now, let's welcome the director, Yuemei Liu, to give a speech at our Society of Wilderness 2021 Environmental Action Forum. Let's welcome.
各位伙伴，大家早安！今天是7月18号，是我们行动论坛的日子。好，那也就是大家在关心环境的问题呢，要借由今天这个网路要来跟大家一起分享。 那大环境的健康呢，其实影响我们非常多。如果环境健康，我们就可以大口的呼吸呀，然后自在的旅行，安心的生活，至少心是非常自在的。那环境的健康呢，需要很多面向，大家一起来做。譬如说，需要人去关心，需要大家一起同心协力来做守护。那环境到底发生什么问题呢？用什么方法来做改善？那目前达到什么样的成效？这个就是我们在推动行动论坛最主要目的，让大家可以来关心环境的问题，用自己想到的方法来做环境的改善。那改善的时候呢，有什么成效可以跟大家一起分享？大家再给予一些经验值呢，可以做更好的推动。这样，那忙了很久，甚至有些人是1年，有些人可能是超过1年的时间。那今天是大家要把你的成果分享出来的日子。那虽然因为疫情啊，我们有很多就是没有办法大家聚在一起，也没有办法热情的给大家一些打招呼，大家也没有办法人跟人之间的距离太近。不过呢，借由网络，我觉得我们的热情也不减，大家的分享在荧幕上面也不会减少。现在是微解封的状态，微解封虽然是稍微疫情缓下来，不过呢，我觉得大家还需要做好戴口罩、勤洗手、保持社交距离，让大家能够在疫情控制到非常稳的这一段时间里面，大家都能够平平安安的过生活。这样，那未来如果疫情得以到控制的状态，我们又可以恢复环境健康，大家非常舒适自在的生活。这样。那今天呢是大家行动论坛发表的日子，那每一个人就会觉得说啊，发表好紧张哦，到底要如何来展现自己1年的成果，甚至更长的这个成果呢？那我希望大家稳下心，不要紧张，只要你不紧张，就可以把你的行动论坛的这一个行动的这一个分享呢，可以做到展现最好的姿态给大家，那也让大家知道说，哦，我们就在我们自己的这个都市做了一些对环境友善的行动。那对于别人听到你的分享的人，他们也可以去看看他们的都会区或是他们的城市是不是也有一样的问题，那是不是也可以用你的方法来做一些对环境的改善工作。那环境的健康需要我们大家去关心，也需要我们大家去想一些方法来解决。那这些方法呢，可能有各式各样，用个人的方式，用社会的方式，用推动其他我们更多人关心的方式来进行。那只是维护每一个大环境的健康，大家都有责任。那也希望大家今天的分享能够让我们社会的环境健康能够更往前一步，也让我们大家彼此来更关心我们自己环境的问题。那祝福大家今天一切顺利。
Thanks for the encouragement of Yuanmei Liu. Next, I'm going to introduce the rules. There are some things to note. First, turn off your microphone while others are talking, or others can listen to your secret. Second, keep your video camera on at all times. We want to watch your pretty face. Third, use YouTube live stream to follow the entire forum. Fourth, enter the conference room 10 minutes before your presentation. Everyone can't wait to listen to your presentation. Last one, join us at 3:35 for the closing ceremony at the junior session. And now I'm going to introduce our judges today. First one is Fangfei Lin. Can Ms. Lin wave to everybody?
Hello.
She is IBM recognized top talent and selected candidate for IBM General Manager. More than 20 years of practicing and leading corporate communication, and marketing in a world-class global brand. And second one is Jo. Can Miss Jo wave to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
She is an experienced leader and Intel's region RM manager. Her proven track record in successfully leading virtual teams. And the last but not least is Jing-In Liu. Can Miss Liu wave to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
She used to work in advertising and consulting companies, but later she hoped she could contribute to the environment and quit her job as a volunteer. Let's give them a warm welcome. Thank you for being here and taking time to listen to the contestant. And next, I'm going to introduce our rules today. First one is presentation time. Each team have 25 minutes, 15 minutes for the presentation, and 10 minutes for the judge's comment. When there is 2 minutes left, they will pass a 1 ring as a reminder. When there is 1 minute left, they will also have a 1 ring as a reminder. When time is up, they will have a long ring. And you will have to stop. This is the scoring standard this time. It divides into 2 parts. First is project. It accounted for 60%. And second one is presentation. It accounted for 14%. Please refer to the items above. Okay, now we all know the rule. So let's begin the most important part today. When we hear marine pollution, maybe the first to catch our eyes are mainly PET bottles, plastic bags, straws, and so on. Well, these are good guesses, but in fact, cigarette butts are actually the most abundant form of plastic waste in the world. But wait, are cigarette butts made of cotton or paper? No, cigarette butts are primarily plastic. In Taiwan's trash from 2003 to last year, it accounted for 45,000 cigarette butts, stacking up to a height of 2.6 Taipei 101 towers. Their attention is much lower than the impact they have caused. And now, let's welcome the first group. Cigarette butts fall off, this won't work. They are going to tell us how they implement their action. Let's welcome.
Three, two, one. Kong, 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 kong.
What are you guys doing?
We are praying for the cigarette butts.
What?
Cigarette butts kill too many creatures. We are praying that he won't go to the 18th tail.
Hello everyone, we are Pongo. Our topic is cigarette butts fall off. This won't work. Our instructor is Xu Shuhua. I'm Sun Liqi.
I'm Chen Siyu.
I'm Huang Yuanzhen.
I'm Lin Zhiyi.
I'm Fang Peizhen.
This is our content. The first part is our main objective. The second part is the harm of cigarette butts to the ocean. The third part is why do people throw cigarette butts anywhere? The fourth part is the things we have done before. The fifth part is the things we will do in the future.
Our main objective is making cigarette butts disappear from anywhere. You may ask why. I mean,
why you notice those small objects on the ground. So now, let us introduce the origin of our project. We find that the environmental pollution is due to birds. As everyone knows, they can do violence to the city. But it is not the worst. The worst is the cigarette smoke. They also deal the pollution of our beautiful blue ocean. When people finish smoking, some people throw a cigarette smoke into the trash can, and some people throw a cigarette smoke on the ground. And then they will fall into the jam. Finally, it flew into a river and follow the water into the ocean. Cigarette smoke are very, very harmful to the ocean. The filter components of cigarette butts include sponge, tobacco, plastic, called acetate. It takes more than 10 years for cellulose acetate to decompose in natural environment. Also, the nicotine, tar, and other chemicals in the cigarette butts will pollute the environment when entering the water and endanger human health through the food chain. That's terrible. Smoking indoors was previously allowed, but because there is an ashtray in the room, secondhand smoke is more toxic than smoking, so the smoking area moved to outdoor. Nowadays, there are mostly no smoking area indoors. Therefore, the harm of indoor secondhand smoke has changed. The change causing less other public hazards. That makes me scared. But because there are no ashtray outdoors, smokers will find places that they think are well covered. Oh no! They will throw it into drains, bonfires, under trees, grasses, and roads. Will cause cigarette butts to blow on the street and even sink into the sea. Back to the human rate in the cycle. We need to find some way to solve the problem. Cigarette butts will not only harm the environment, it will also harm the human body. Don't worry about that. Now, the government also has related measures. Those who litter cigarette butts will be fined NT $1,200 to NT $6,000.
So what have we done for reducing cigarette butts before?
We pick up butts on the street, take part in demonstrations held by SOW, find supporter of our subject, take part in Eco Award, promote the harm of cigarette butts, make line stickers, co-organize Free the Cigarette Butt activity, and hold a Reduce Butts activity.
Do you remember that we have picked up the cigarette butts on the street before?
Oh yes, I remember we had picked cigarette butts near the Zhongli Party Ward.
Yes, that was my first time picking cigarette butts on the side of the road. I felt really embarrassing.
It's hateful that someone still dropped the smoked cigarette butts on the ground when we were picking others up.
We also did the questionnaire as passerby.
Hey, why do we need to make a questionnaire?
The questionnaire was done for investigate people's smoking habits. At the same time, it also promotes the harm of the cigarette butt to the people, so that more people can understand the impact of the cigarette butts. And can
We got a feeling that it's not enough to make questionnaire only, so we joined a lot of contests to make more people notice our project.
We participated in a Forum for Action on the Environment in 2020.
with Forum for Action on the Environment in 2020. We wish to more actively and effectively communicate the hazards of cigarette butts to more people.
This is the first competition we have participated. It is really important for us.
Then we participate in Eco Award. It is an award for caring about the environment. At that time, we spent a lot of time writing an air pollution play to make the issue of cigarette butts pay more attention to.
Yeah, I remember that we spent a lot of time protesting. The question
But for our beautiful ocean, no matter how tired we are, we still need to work hard.
after that, we went to set up ashtray on the road, but it seems like we will fail.
People just throw the cigarette butts on the ground although they saw the ashtray.
I think that is because people thought they are embarrassing when they throw it to it.
That was really terrible.
This is the special ashtray we made. It is made of acrylic, and you can vote it for the Scottish you like.
For beautiful oceans, we need to hold a larger activity. And the way we choose is inviting the students in senior high school to pick butts up with us.
I was really nervous when we discussed our activity with the Department of Youth Affairs adults at that time.
That was the first time I talked to other adults about that kind of things too.
So am I. Everything went smoothly in the beginning. However, they told us the time we prepared is too short, so it turned out they couldn't support our activity.
Oh, I was as mad as hell.
Don't be angry. We have also worked with the Taipei First Girls High School students.
Oh, I remember there were many meetings at that time. Many adjustments were made, and it wasn't easier than a competition.
We also associate Heather and explain the pollution to the high school students on that day.
It was really a special day, and it was also my first time being a team assistant. I was super nervous.
I was both excited and nervous.
But it's very comfortable to see dish covers and flower beds are being cleaned.
Yeah, I have to say that I learned a lot from that activity.
Do you remember that we also participate in King Car Love in Action?
Of course, we also get a award from it. It's quite a good memory.
Yes, we have also made a video for that. Let's watch the video together.
Can't remember, but I think I kissed you first. It's all a blur, now it's a curse. Get real now. You made it such a big deal now. Don't know what you think this is, but clearly we think differently. Oh, will you please just calm down? You're talking shit to this whole town. You make it sound amazing. Love that we ain't making. What imagination. We had a good time, yeah, okay, we clicked. Kinda fun, but now I'm over it. So go run around on your mouth, tell your little lies, but I'm not yours, no, I never was. Oh, I think you know the truth. There ain't never gonna be me and you. So go run around on your mouth, tell your little lies, but I'm not yours, no, I never was. I'm not yours, no, I never was. Don't know why you're making it so difficult. It's typical. I'm not your girl, so face it.
This is the video we made.
Afterwards, we sing the cigarette butt picking activity that we have co-organized with Taipei First Girls High School seem to have successfully promoted the idea of cigarette butts. So we decided to prepare this kind of activity by ourselves.
There was news on that event, and there were YouTubers coming. When shooting the video, I thought that the effect would be so good.
Yeah, I'm surprised with that too. That's why we decided to prepare this kind of activity by ourselves, hoping to greatly promote our idea to more people.
We made many flyers and handed them out in the zoo during our meet. The flyers are prints of our nice stickers and our activities registration form. Hey, you know what? Our activity named 烟消云散 means disappear in Mandarin. Isn't it cool?
Don't mention that anymore. I feel so sad when I think about that.
Me too. We have done a lot for that cigarette butt picking activity. We drew a lot of cigarette butt line stickers for publicity, and also asked the Department of Youth Affairs for assistance. The pre-departure notice and the application form was also done.
Tell me about it. Everything was almost done. Who knows it will be cancelled because of a pandemic.
Although the cigarette butt picking activity was postponed, we still promote the harm of cigarette butts on our fans page.
Our event is not completely cancelled. We will do it at a later time when the pandemic is over. Our action will continue until we reach the real 烟消云散.
We will keep an effort until cigarette butts really disappear.
Thank you for listening.
Even if cigarette butt is so small, it is hard to escape from your eyes. It's really good that you're not just picking up but also promoting. Then, now we invite Ms. Fang Fei Lin to give us some comments.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. So thanks for the big efforts. I do have a questions regarding the collaborations with the first high school girl students. Are they because you know, the one that throw the trash are the one that are creating the problems, right? And instead of going directly to those making this problem, you choose to collaborate with high school girl students. Why did you make this choice?
Can you answer the question, Sunichi?
That's because they have more resource than us. So we think they can co-organize with us and make more benefits than only we did it.
Okay, I understand that you want to make the issues, promote the issues, and make a lot of people know about these problems we are facing now, right? But my question is, the one that are creating the problems, do you do anything with those people in the project you are working on now? Because those are the people that are creating the problems. So we need to let them know and make them correct their behaviors so we can reduce the cigarette butts on the streets or on the oceans, right? But right now, if we only do the promotion and make people know, it seems that people that are not smoking, they know about the problems. But people that are smoking, they are not doing anything to correct their own behavior. So will that be part of your plan to go directly to those smokers?
I think maybe we will promote it to the smokers in the future.
Okay. So this is something that you will do in the future. But
Yes.
do you have any clue how you want to do that in the future? Because it seems that in the past, this problem has been known. So the government introduced penalty to give penalty to the smokers, but the situation is not improving much. So what is the problem that the penalty doesn't work? So if this doesn't work, what will you do differently in the future?
Maybe we will go on the street and maybe get a questionnaire to ask the smokers and asking their smoking habits, so that we can know the way to solve the problem.
That's good. The reason I want to mention this is because sometimes we need to go directly after the problem rather than beating around the bush. So even though it's not something that you already think about or have a very clear idea about, I encourage you to make it part of your plan in the future. And I look forward to hearing the results or maybe participate in the actions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then, next, we invite Ms. Jean Lo to give us some feedback.
Hi, girls. I think you have done a great job. I see very smooth interaction, and you have a delegation assignments, and then I see you produce the film, and also line stickers. Although I don't know whether it's officially launched or not, and so I can see a lot of efforts you have done in the past. I just want to know that, regardless, it's a cigarette butt picking activities or visiting the Department of Youth Affairs and all the efforts you have done. Have you seen any improvements, regardless people's mindset or people's response, or just like a fun face, just ask. Any smokers' behavior has been corrected by your events. I want to see more substantial consequence or outcomes after your efforts. I think that's the most important part because that can drive you going further by the feedback of the people. So because I think in your presentation you mostly talk about what have you done, but I want to know that what effectiveness you have achieved throughout your efforts. So can you give me some examples?
I think like we worked with the Taipei First Girls High School students, and there was a lot of news, and many people know about that. The harm of the cigarette butts is really terrible, and that people will talk to other people about that kind of things, and I think more people will know this objective, and the smoker maybe they will know and they can change their perception.
I know it's a great outcome, but what you missed is mostly important is that you need numbers. You need some numbers to showcase your outcome. For instance, how many people have you talked to, and how many of them converted their behavior, or what's the click rate of your YouTube or Facebook or whatever your post? You need to give people quantitative figures to showcase that your achievement. Because you say a lot of people, I don't know what a lot means. Maybe it's a few hundred, or it's more than 1,000 people. And then so it's hard to say that a few hundred people is enough or not, right? And you only work through with Taipei Girl High School, and we ask you why you selected the counterpart to collaborate, right? But we need to. You probably need a more strategic collaboration strategy that systematically, maybe not just in the north, because cigarette butts is island-wide problem. Okay, I think we need save some time for the next judge. But well done, girls, and I need you to provide more substantial quantitative numbers to approve your efforts consequences. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, let's invite Miss Jo to give us some suggestion.
Hi, girls. Nice to meet you all. I mainly have two questions. The first one is, I'd like to know that if you have the chance to do this project all over again, where is the area you wish to improve?
I think not only in Taiwan, because the harm of the cigarette butt is for the whole world. Every country have the problem of the cigarette butts. So I think I will do this subject maybe in many countries and promote our idea to the people.
Okay. The reason I asked about this because you have mentioned that you have actually produced a special ashtray, but no one is using it, and you said it's a big fail. So do you think there's any way to improve it?
I think because no one throw the cigarette butts into the ashtray, so I think we need to educate the people that don't throw the cigarette butt anywhere, but instead of setting the ashtray, because no one will notice them or no one will throw the cigarette butts into the ashtray.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you point out the education may still be lacking because I just saw a report from EPA. For Taiwanese, there's still about 67% of people have no idea that cigarette butts are made of plastic filter. So you're right, the education is still a big problem. But the second question is very important. I think it's the same thing. I would like to know what's your definition of the success of this project? How do you call this a success? You said you'll continue, you said it's still efforts ongoing. But right now, is it a success or not? And what is your definition of success?
I think we are not completely success. We need to do it more and more, and we need to promote it to more people, like more smokers, and I think our definition of success is that more people will stop throwing the cigarette butts anywhere.
Okay, so I believe this is a concept that we all believe is important, but do you have a measurement to say, as long as I can prove that this area has changed, then it's success, or at least I have 1,000 people signed up for the project, then it's a success? Do you have a mechanism to define the success?
Maybe the area there is less cigarette spots in the area than before.
Okay, it's okay. I think this is the area, just the same as Fang Fei um, and the Lan Lan Jie mentioned. It's the same thing. That I think the measurement and the way you evaluate the success need to be very specific. But still, I'm very happy that finally we have someone pay attention to cigarette butts because it's one of the major pollutants of the world. So thank you again for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the comments and suggestions from the judges. And first group, please leave the meeting first. Thanks. Have you ever seen coral reefs before? If you think they are beautiful, then you can wonder how amazing algae reefs are. Unlike coral reefs, the process of algae reef building is slow. It has grown less than 1 centimeter in 20 years. According to the research, Taoyuan Datan algae reef has a history of 7,600 years. It has a value of a World Natural Heritage. However, in order to comply with the government policy, new construction projects are suspected of being affected and destroying the environment of algae reef, attracting social attention. They noticed this problem and wanted to solve it. And now, let's welcome the second group, the guardian of Datan algae reef. They are going to tell us how they implement their action. Let's welcome.
请长毛象绿茶跟
可以开始了吗？
请开始。
谢谢。Hello everyone, we are the guardians of algorithms. Today we will introduce what we did to protect the algorithm. This is our character introduction. This is me, Air, and these are Green Tea and Melon. These are other characters that will show later. And this is our outline. Act 1, Guardian's Childhood. Once upon a time, in Middle Z, a gorgeous city, there was an 8-year-old boy called Air. Air is a nice boy. Also, he is optimistic and always curious about everything. One day, when Air was playing at seaside, a fairy with long purple hair came to his side and said,
"Dear boy, the algorithm is in danger. She needs your help."
"Wait, Miss Fairy, could you tell me what is that? I have never heard about it."
"Oh dear, listen to me. The algorithm is an amazing ecosystem. She's built by algae and she's over 7,000 years old."
Wow, that's a pretty long time, older than both of us.
You're right. And it's a porous structure so that creatures such as crabs or starfish can live, eat, and rest in it.
That sounds incredible.
But now she's being threatened. If we still don't take action, those small creatures will lose their home.
What? I must help her.
Great, that's what I wanted to hear. Little boy, remember just one thing. You're never wrong to do the right thing.
Act 2. Team. Time flew, and Air grew into a handsome teenager. He had still remembered his dream to save the algorithm. One day, he met two people who knew him from a patrol book. So you guys came here just because you saw what I did for the algorithm from patrol book?
Well, not totally. Green Tea and I did see your posts on Book. At first, we followed you just because we thought that you were doing something interesting. But after years, through reading your articles day by day, we realized how precious the algorithm is.
Yet she is right. And that's why we are here. Though both of us are students, we still want to try our best to protect the algorithm.
There he goes. And we have heard that the Datan algorithm is facing danger recently, and we think you might need more assistance. And we're pretty willing to fight together with you.
Well, I need sometimes think about it. Maybe we can go find a fairy together. When I was little, she came to me and told me everything about the algorithms, and it was from that time I started to take action to protect them.
Sure, let's go.
Later at the seaside. Miss Fairy, they are my new friends, Green Tea and Mammoth. They said that they wanted to protect the algorithm together with me. What do you think about it?
Nice to meet you, Green Tea and Mammoth. I'm so surprised to hear that. Nowadays, more and more students are trying hard to do something good for the earth. And today, I'm so glad to meet you guys in person. Nice to meet you too, Miss Berry. We have a strong belief. We are really willing to take this challenge.
We know that the Daan algorithms are in a serious situation now. They are destroyed due to the construction plans for the number 3 liquefied natural gas terminal by the Central Petroleum Company.
Exactly. Actually, the situation is getting worse. The construction plans is still in progress and the algorithms nearby are being damaged.
Sounds terrible. What can you do to help now?
Fortunately, there are more people who have the same goals as us. For example, the Rescue Dalton's Algorithms Alliance is the most iconic one. The members even proposed a referendum to stop the construction plans.
Got it. Maybe we can go to the headquarters of that alliance first and ask them if we can be volunteers.
Sure, let's go.
And 3. Let's try the whole bag of tricks. The Guardians go on their journey. First, they join the Rescue Dalton's Algorithm Alliance as a volunteer. They want to raise public attention by promoting the referendum as some lively and bustling places.
Look at the crowds. Nowadays, everyone lives a fast-paced life. They don't have even just short pause to listen a word we say.
That's true. I just saw several volunteers being rejected. Seems like it would be a tall order.
Guys, take it easy. All we have is the courage to confront everything. The main reason for rejections may be the ignorance of the algorithms. We must face up to this problem, and don't be afraid to be turned down. We must go on.
So, what can we do? I don't think yelling on the street is a good idea.
Well, you need good communication skills. Let me show you. Hey, cute guy, have you ever heard about the algorithm? It's a home for
No
lots of...
thanks.
Maybe you need to be more polite. I'll try this one. Excuse me, girl. Do you have a minute? May I introduce you to a miracle place where sea creatures live happily?
Well, thank you for asking.
Well, it seems like being polite doesn't work, but we still have to. It's my turn. Beauty. Algorithms play an important role in the ecosystem. Please help her.
Oh my, no way! Why don't we just let the construction plants go on? We need more gas for the power plant to make electricity, and everyone can enjoy the cool air in summer. Am I wrong?
Totally. We need more power. ESMC also needs electricity to make chips to earn money for Taiwan.
But how will the creatures live there be? Their home will be destroyed. Do you want your home to be destroyed?
Well, the LNG terminal will only be built in 23 hectares, which has already been developed in 2003. You don't have to worry about anything being destroyed.
The LNG terminal will not only affect the place it is located, it also has to build a lot of embankments for the ships to come in. Also, because of the growing effect, the whole algorithm will be covered with sand. It is so cruel. The terminal might affect over 900 hectares of area.
Even though it hurts some of the reef, the lacking electricity issue of Taiwan is more serious.
Taiwan doesn't need that much electricity. We can use less electricity so that the government doesn't have to build that stuff on the algorithm and the gas doesn't have to be burned. Also, we make less carbon to decrease the air pollution.
Dude, it's 2021. If you want to live a normal life, you have to sacrifice some natural things. Don't always say protect, protect, and protect. Face the music. Taiwan lacks electricity, and the society hates nuclear power a lot. So the only option is to build more fire power plants.
But the reef really plays an important role in the ecosystem.
Don't be upset. Someone just can understand the importance of algorithms. We just try someone else.
Hey, are you guys standing up for the algorithm? I know it from the petrol book. Can I sign a cost signature?
Of course you can. Please follow me.
Wow, it's awesome. Let's continue promoting.
After months of organizing, the Guardians have gone to many places to collect the cost signatures. The number have finally raised while the social media and politicians discover the topic can bring a lot of views. This also brings more cost signatures. The Algorithm Protecting Center is filled with cost signatures.
Well, we have a lot of co-signatures here. What are we going to do with them?
Today, we are going to make them into books so that we can send them to the Central Election Commission.
So, how to do that?
Let's ask the volunteer over there. She seems to be skilled at this.
Well, excuse me, miss. May you tell us how to sort those co-signatures?
Sure. First, we have to separate the papers into different cities. And remember to pick up the wrong form once. Then separate them into different districts. Finally, make every 50 papers into a book, then put it into the storage room.
That sounds quite easy.
But we have so many papers. It must take a lot of time.
Yep, we have to strike the balance between volunteer service and our schoolwork.
So I might spend lots of time sorting signatures instead of studying. I think it is worth doing.
I think so. As a student, this is what we can do to help protect the .10 algorithms. Act 4. To be continued. As time went by, the center received more and more cost signatures from the whole island. After weeks of striving, the guardians finally finish their work. The day to send the signature is around the corner.
The number of the co-signatures has finally reached the line in the last month. How breathtaking!
It is not the end. We still have a fight in December. We have to make more people stand by us.
We also have to know the true reason for the construction plans. Are we really lacking in electricity?
Definitely not. There are lots of ways to reduce the usage of electricity in our daily life. Some tiny moves such as changing the LED bulbs or turning off the switches when they are not using.
We can also let people know the importance of green energy, and we have to clear the myth that nuclear energy is dirty.
Here's another problem. During the pandemic, everyone has to stay at home. How can we make the public know more about algorithms at this moment?
We can still promote online. Taking video or posting related articles on a social networking site may work.
Also, we can create some online minigames to educate people about the information for the algorithm or the ways to reduce the usage of electricity.
Those are good ideas. Then what are you guys waiting for? Let's do it! Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thanks to their protection action and help of sorting out the petition forms of Datan LG referendum, so that we can save this amazing environment. Then, let's invite Judge Fang Fei Ling to give them some comments.
Hello, hi team. I saw there are 3 of you making these presentations. So you are the only 3 people in a group, or do you have any other team members that didn't show up today?
Well, I'll guess this one. Okay. There are actually only 3 members in our team, but we have a lot of friends. Although they are not our team members, they'll still do the promotion with us.
That's okay. I just want to know if you are the team members or there are other people in the background. So I really enjoy the storytelling and also the pictures, image you have on the presentation. Do you create them by yourself?
Well, actually, there's a lot of website, and I just use the pictures, but edit a little bit.
Yeah, that's very good. I really, it really captured attention and also have a very good introduction to the background of your project. But I want to ask the questions because it wasn't very clear in the presentations that exactly what is the problem you try to solve here. Because in the project, you mentioned that you want to save the algal reef, but along the way in the presentation, you did bring up issues of Taiwan is short of electricity. So people are struggling between the electricity and also the reef. And then later on into the presentations, you say you spend a lot of time talking about the power plants. So it's making the subject a bit unclear. Are we on the subject of saving the reef, or are we want to discussing the problem of our electricity? So this is something that I think when you are making a presentations, you want to be very clear about the center, the core of the topic, and you want to make time to present your issues clearly and also the actions rather than making it expanded to other topics. Those topics might be relevant, but it shouldn't take much about your time or even causing the confusions of your topic. So then that was my first comments. And then I want to ask a questions. Do you think what you have done, including going to the night markets, talking to people, raising awareness, and also participating in the soliciting the signatures, are they making impact to the results of collecting the memorandums? And how this is going to affect the results of the votes?
Well, Air.
Yes. Anyone on your team, and I wish somebody else can tell more. Yeah.
Well, we go to propagandize on the street to raise public attention of agri, right? So this will make people know that there's a lot of people want to protect this environment.
I understand that, but because there are so many people out there doing the same thing, right? So if everybody's doing the same thing, could you do something differently?
Something different. We will go. It's not pandemic. Taiwan is during pandemic now, so we will go online and make some tasks or mini games to make people to know more about algorithm and this moment.
Let me give you an example, because Taiwan is not the only problem that has the reefs, right? Yes. Our neighbors, Australia, they have the Greater Reef. So guess what? Lately, they are also a big topic discussing the Great Reef. But they have a happy problem. What they do in the past is, if you guys don't know, the Greater Reef in Australia, they are actually the World Heritage. It's a UNESCO site. When it becomes a UNESCO site, it means that it's the treasure of the whole world. It's not just a treasure of a nation, right? So people on the earth, they will care of this project, this topic. So it becomes something that they're calling a global efforts to protect the reef. So this is something they did differently. And lately, because they said, well, we need to balance the sightseeing, the tourism, right? So the UNESCO, some people, they said, because this is so precious, we should not let people go to this area. But the local people say, for the sake of economy, we want to make money, so we should introduce tourism, and if we can do that properly, then we should open this reef to let more people see this beauty. And this is the pride of our nation. So they decide they want to do a snorkeling campaign. They want to show people how they can do the tourism well without sacrificing the environment. So they try to solve the problem of the economy while protecting the environment. So I think this is something that I know there are a lot of things we are doing, but that's not fighting things alone by ourselves. We can learn some lessons from what the people have done before and take from their wisdom and moving on. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks.
Next, let's invite Ms. Jing Liu to give us some comments.
Hi, team. Okay, I really enjoy the presentation. I think it's very creative, and I see that you have made a lot of efforts in producing this presentation. I just want to follow up with the Fangfei's question. I just wanted to ask you, because I'm a little confused that who is the audience of this presentation. You don't forget that what you are attending now is a competition. it's not an educational. We are not in the school. We are not in the elementary school. I think what you have done is a more educational presentation. You explain or educate people how is the process of the referendum of algorithm protection. So it's hard to me for me to know that what have you really done and differently from other people, as we know that there are more than thousands of volunteers are promoting the referendum, and I don't know. It's your presentation is kind of summary of the efforts done by other people, not you, not you as a team. But if you say, okay, I'm going to create a presentation which is to educate expatriates or foreigners in Taiwan, how is the referendum of algorithm is achieved, then you can use this presentation as the material to educate or explain to foreigners in Taiwan. Then that I will say, okay, that's your project. That's your exclusive project because no other people is doing this. But this presentation to me is not a proposal. It's not what you have done. It's a kind of summary job of a lot of it's generated from it's a report about what people have done for algorithm referendum efforts. Do you agree? Do you agree that this is kind of summary of what people have done in the referendum process?
Well, part of your comments, because actually we are a part of the people who do the promoting, and we also joined this referendum too. And we have talked in our presentation that although we're still students and we're not like adults, but we still have to put effort.
Okay, agree, of course, because you are part of it. But have you told us that what is your efforts? Exclusively your efforts. You told us that there's so many referendum has been how many signatures has been collected as a whole team. But did you tell us that the result or the outcome of your exclusive effort? If you told me that your team, you lead a team and collect how many of the referendum and how many outdoor soliciting by your team, if you told us that, then I will say, okay, that's your effort. But right now, all the achievements that you listed is a collaborated result. It's not your team result. Am I right?
Okay, then I'll give an example, but I'm not sure if it fits what you're asking. Like we all of our we three we are students, and we affected a lot of people around us, like our students or our teacher. How precious the algorithm is, and how serious the situation of the data algorithm, and we affect those people, a lot of people around us, and I think this is one of our, or this is
your
what we want to
achievement.
do. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. You should include that in your presentation, not just tell us the whole process, because I'm not sure other people, but most of us have been engaged in the process. So we all know everything about it, but we want to know is what is your exclusive effort. And then so if you can include the information you just gave me in your presentation with more organized structure, and I think that you will be outstanding. Okay, that's my comment. But thank you for your efforts. Yes, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Finally, let's invite Miss Jo to give us some suggestion.
Hi, team. Thank you for your efforts on this. We all know the importance of protecting the algal reef.
Yes.
I just have one question. Actually, I have similar question to same as Fanfei and Sarah. But I have one question. Is there anything that you guys do that is created by you guys, only 3 of you? Is it any initiative created by 3 of you? Did you create like social account to promote it? Or did you create banners? Did you create poster? Is there any production that created from 3 of you?
Well, nope, but we're planning because we started this project just a short time and we're still planning.
Oh, a short time. So
From-
how many
actually
months
from
did it
December.
involve? Or from December last year?
Yes.
Okay. And for the long run, you talked about in energy concept and education. I'm just curious, because protecting the reef is not just about preventing or stop the government for building constructions, because there are many ways to protect it. You need to stop pollutants. You need to manage that habitat. So besides collecting signature, stop the government construction, what else are you thinking about to protect that area?
Oh, I think this one Eric can answer. He's one of the instructor in his high school about the algorithm.
Well, we have been to the Dallas algorithm several times to know the creatures there, and we are planning to get people with us to there to know how precious it is.
Okay, so you're saying you're looking to do more local education tour?
Yes.
Okay, so mainly educational. Okay, all right. I think that I think just as Fanfei said, it is quite strange. You move your focus from protecting the reef to the discussion about energy use in the end of your presentation, which for me is a little bit strange because it doesn't reflect your topics. But the end you answer about the tour education. I think there's a lot more you can do because I could not imagine how you 3 succeed because I don't exactly know your project goal. What exactly the goal you wish to achieve among your 3?
Well, our goal is to let people not only to stop the construction, also we have to let people know how precious the algorithm is, and they will know that this place is not. You cannot hurt this place. You cannot put anything on this place, and you will love this place.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that.
Okay. Maybe it's a little bit abstract, but like we have said before, environmental education, or maybe a bigger goal. Like we actually don't have an accurate goal for our project. Just continue doing.
Okay, just a little bit advice. When you start a project, you need to have very specific goals. So for example, you set a target, like the first year, I need to make sure there's 1,000 people sign the protection like vow with me. You can set a goal for the first year, and the second year you can sign up. You can use that as a number. So this is what I see as a pity because it's very hard for me to evaluate if this is a project worthy for me to invest my time and efforts because I don't know exactly where and how we're going to achieve. Yeah, just as you said, it's too conceptual on what your goal setting. So it's quite difficult for me to see if it's important or how I can involve or support you guys. So I think this is mainly my some suggestion. But still, thank you so much for all your efforts on this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the judges' comments and suggestion. And the second group, please left the meeting first. Okay. Now we invite judges to give a general comment to this group to give them some encouragement and advice.
I will go first. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So I really appreciate both teams making efforts to solve complex problems. I mean, the cigarette butts are a big problem, causing the pollutions, not just to the cities, but also to the oceans. And the algal reef, it's a questions to strike the balance between the economy and also the nature's protections. So these are all very complex problems. It's not easy to solve. However, I do want to remind the team, when you try to solve a problem, we don't need to solve a problem at one time, because a big problem is actually involves a lot of little problems. So if we can try to solve little problem one step by one step, and eventually we could possibly, solving the bigger problems. So this is something that I think it's important to bear in mind. Otherwise, you will be jump into, actions, because you could not define a clear root causes, and you cannot clearly define what are the actions you can take to help solving the problem under the resources and also the time that you can control. Okay, so let me give you an important concept of the so-called problem solving. Problem solving requires a very critical thinking and conscious decision-making process. That means you need to define the problem, identify the root causes, and based on the resources or based on the ideas you have, then you want to generate alternatives, evaluate alternatives, eventually deciding on what are the solutions or action you want to take, and then take the actions and measure the outcomes against the actions. So this actually, this is a very important process to help you design your project, design your scope, design your actions, and try to even source the skills, resources that are needed, and design your measurement of success, and eventually to measure the outcomes. And then against your outcome, you will come up the so-called lesson learned to share with the other people. But in today's meeting, I think I came to the meeting with the expectation to hear a story of such. But unfortunately, I only hear the team primarily talking about the actions. The actions, if not clearly tied to the project scope, the project goal, they are meaningless, because I don't know if they are the best actions to help you to achieve the desired outcome. Okay, so all the projects are very clearly, smartly designed. They are not developed as it goes. Everything has to be designed, and in order to meet your desirable outcome. Nothing comes by coincidence. Okay, so this is something I think it's important to bear in mind. And secondly, I also mentioned in the team question and answers, a lot of things we don't need to do from scratch. So we don't live in this world alone by ourselves. There are many important issues that are commonly faced not just by our people in Taiwan, by other people in the other countries as well. So I think it's also important to learn from what people have done before, and then take their lessons and try to write down their efforts, and so we can save our time and efforts on the mistakes. And the third thing I think it's important is, as Sarah has mentioned, we want to see very importantly what is the unique idea that you come up to help solving the problem, because the world is different. That because of you make this particular effort, because of your particular idea, not anybody else. So we know the world has changed because of you, not because of other people. These are the three things I want you to take away. But let me say it again. I do think you are making a very good effort to try to solve a complex problem. My only wish is we don't need to be so ambitious. We can tackle small problem one at a time, but come up with a bold idea that's originally by your design. Thank you. Good job, everyone.
Next, we invite Judge Ms. Jing Liu to give us some comments.
I find out that really congratulations to the both teams. I'm really impressed by your creativities, and your graphic design of your presentation is really good, because I think that's your strength of this young generation, that you are very, very good at using the graphic. And so I think the presentation is much easier to read and much easier to engage the audience. However, I think that what you're missing is the logic thinking. Just follow up the comments from Fang Fei. I think that I just want to show you a principle to make your presentation more structured, and make your project or your goals or targets more specific. I'm not sure whether you have heard that SMART principle. SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. You can go to the internet to search SMART principle, because I think that both of your teams, what you have missed is the specific target and the measurable outcome. That's because of you missing these two important parts, that we are lost by what you have achieved or what you plan to achieve. So I think it's a good tool. I think it's really important for you, no matter in this competition or in the future proposal project you are going to conduct. SMART principles is really useful. So please go to website to study this principle. And for the future team, for the competition, I think maybe what we can do as an organizer, we can give them this reference, and so that for the team attendance, contestants in the future, and in the future, that you can present a better, a more structured presentation, and you will feel more rewarding and not stressed. Okay, so I just want you to utilize the tool to make your presentation and your project more, how should I say, more successful. Okay, that's my comment. Thank you.
Finally, we invite Judge Miss Zhou to give us some suggestions.
Hi all. I think both of you did a great job. I'm just very touched for your dedication, because I'm always impressed with young people dedicated to environmental related action. Because Fang Fei and Sarah already covered most of the stuff I also want to say. I just want to leave you with a few things. I think for a good presentation, what we would like to hear is very simple. Just tell us, after 6 months or few months of work, what do you think that the work is good? And what is the thing that doesn't work? So I just want to hear from you. What do you think is a good thing that you can continue to do? And what is the thing that while you were executing it, you find it's not the right direction? And the last part I want to hear is how you can make it better. That's all I need from you, is how you can make the thing that you think, oh, this works, and how I can make it better. That's how I need from you. So I think it's a little bit pity that you have give me, I would say, very good presentation with a lot of visual about what you have done, but it's not very clear of how you have evaluate or how you analyze if all these are good. And I hear from one of the team, like the cigarette butt team, you notice that the box you created is not good, but you didn't have a very clear thinking of how you can make it better. So I wish in the future you just think from a very simple philosophy. You're presenting a project that you executed. Let us know how you think about the project. Anything good, anything bad, and how you can make it better. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks for the judge's comment. As today's contest comes to an end, each one of you did a great job. Bravo! Whether it is the demotion and action of cigarette butts or algal reefs, they have made good educational demonstration of environmental protection. I think everyone has gained a lot of knowledge today. Thanks for the judges' comments and suggestions on how we can do better. From the exchange of opinions, we can learn from each other. Every action can change the world. Although it is inconspicuous, there will be no change without effort. As long as we remember our effort, I believe the environment will become better one day. At last, let us make a promise and improve together for the environment. We can make our planet become cleaner and more wonderful. Thank you all for participating today. See you next year. Finally, I would like to remind everyone today's results will be published on the official website of the Wilderness Conservation Association within 3 days. And remember to join us at 3:35 for the closing ceremony at junior session. Goodbye.
好，直播组 OK 了。然后如果场内的大家要